In this reading, we're going to ask Spirit, what are the money blocks that we can't see that is surrounding our abundance right now? So we're going to go ahead and get this reading going. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Rooted Phoenix. I am Estrella Phoenix, and on this channel, we use our spiritual tools to help heal, transform, and guide us toward our abundant path. So thank you so much. So we're asking Spirit for a clear and accurate message today for the collective who wants to know, is there anything right now that is blocking their abundance? All right, this one. All right, now I want one more. I felt this one. All right. So let's see. The first position we got is boss. The second one is laziness. And the third one is host. Okay, so the boss card says, gone are the days of answering to anyone else. Your destiny is in your own hands now. So congratulations to the big bosses out there. All right, so laziness is in the second position. Your dreams are so much bigger than your efforts to achieve them. If you want to accomplish great things, you'll have to try harder. Okay, being a little lazy out here. And host is the third one. Whether your space is physical or digital, you could find a lot of fulfillment in being a host. So when it comes to asking Spirit, what is blocking us right now? What is blocking the collective in their abundance? Spirit is saying you're being lazy. Are you being lazy? Okay, because you got the confirmation. If any of you that want to be an entrepreneur or already have started their entrepreneur journey, Spirit is saying, hey, you got this. This is what you're going to do. Bye-bye to the days where you have to clock on somebody else's time. Okay, where you have to go in and, be on somebody else's watch. You are your own boss right now. But are you putting in all of the work that needs to be put in to make this really successful? That's what Spirit is asking. Are you doing everything that you can do to make this business successful? Are you posting? Are you, getting out in your community? Depending on what your business is, whether it's a product, service, are you doing everything that you can do to make sure that you can become a boss? Or if you already are a boss, that you can stay a boss, because you do not want laziness. You do not want, procrastination, over analyzing. That's another thing that just come to me to keep you from doing this work, because if this is something that you're really serious about and you're very passionate about, then I don't see why you would be lazy. But I can understand though, sometimes you can get into what I call a funk. And if you are in some type of, just not feeling yourself, I wouldn't necessarily call it depression. But if you are just, maybe you're burned out from something, maybe you've been going at it for quite a while and you're still trying to get the fruits of your labor. And maybe you're not seeing it. And so maybe you feel like a little hiatus, or you just may not have the passion. I would say Spirit is saying to reunite that. You need to get back in it. You need to get back in it, because that's what's holding up your abundance right now. In the host, whether your space is physical or digital, you could find a lot of fulfillment in being a host. So this card right here is just basically letting whoever know that resonate with this card. And you could be a boss, you could already be a boss. It's just like a confirmation. This is a confirmation card to me that is saying that this is a lane that you could do. Hosting on a podcast, that's one thing. There's so many things that can go on in the physical or the digital spaces, especially in a service type of business. So I would just look into doing those type of things, especially if this is something that, pull towards you. And we just want to make sure that laziness is not the cause for anything that we're trying to accomplish right now from coming into fruition and doing whatever it is that you're manifesting that you want to have. And on the bottom of the deck, we got training. So training says, you still have some new skills to acquire before you can really advance to the next stage of your career. So if anyone on here that is lacking any training, you may need to, go back to school or some sort, take a course or something like that, just to get a little bit more knowledge. Also, you can also gain some experience. Maybe Spirit is saying if you can intern with someone, on some type of business, maybe you can, if you are pursuing becoming a boss, maybe you can shadow somebody that's already in that field, just to make sure that that is something that you want to continue to pursue. Also, with the host, if you're not sure how to start this, and I don't know why podcast hosts keep coming up to me, so maybe you are interested in becoming a podcaster. Maybe you need to also shadow someone that's already in that business, or start looking at some YouTube channels that actually teach you how to set up equipment and what are the right equipments to get and that type of thing. I felt like that's hindering somebody, that they don't know what equipment, what type of microphone, lighting, all the things that's going to make the podcast very successful. I think that you should also, with this training card, I think that you should, again, either shadow someone that, especially if you're in a city where they have like these podcast like offices where they got it divided up, where you can like rent a space or something like that. Maybe you can shadow someone or talk to some owners about that. Maybe that's something that you're interested in too, is having your own space for that, where you can host different podcasts in a space like a big warehouse. That just came to me as well. So Spirit is saying to make sure that you are getting the accurate training, but also, we want to kick that laziness in the behind. We're going to kick that laziness in the behind. So let's go ahead and let's see if the tarot has anything that it would like to clear up for us. All right. All right, got one card to jump out already. So Spirit, let me get a clear and accurate tarot card for the collective that will be looking at this video today, or whenever it comes across their timeline. All right, I felt this one and that one wanted to come out too. Okay, so we got the Chariot in the reverse position. We have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Three of Cups. So this right here is completely a confirmation for me. And let's see what we got on the bottom of the deck. We got the Goddess of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So with the Chariot card being in the reverse position, the Chariot is all about go, and we are in Cancer season, and this is a Cancer card. So I would say that this laziness is really going to hurt you if you don't get out of whatever it is that's causing you to not be able to put your all into it. The Chariot is, to me, it's like a go kart. It's very determined and, very, just ready, set, go. And I feel like with it being in the reverse position, that you are lacking a little bit of for a lack of a better word. I feel like you're lacking that get up and go. And Spirit is saying that you need to get out of that, because you are holding up becoming that big boss that you want to be, becoming that big boss you want to be. And you don't want to do that, because there is some new water that is trying to pour into you, some new opportunities, new blessings, like I said, fresh water, fresh energy with the sun coming up, pretty blue water. So when you think about this, think about your cup overflowing once you are able to get out of this, little lazy little moment that you're having, because Spirit does want to pour deeply into you. With the Three of Cups is basically what I was saying about maybe you want to collaborate with somebody or shadow somebody, because the Three of Cups is all about the community. You're doing something with others, a team, doing something as a team is what's coming to me. So again, what I was saying about shadowing somebody to get your podcast going, or, just asking questions. Maybe you can also, if you have a favorite podcaster, hit them up in the DMs, or get their email address if they have like a contact page on their website or something like that, and then ask them, especially if they're somewhere near to you or in a city close to you, that maybe you can also go to their podcast. Maybe they have a live podcast that you can actually be in the audience, and or maybe they're doing some type of tour. All these things are coming to me, but I just feel like with this training card, especially for the host, I feel like that is going to be very, very beneficial to you if you get into community with somebody that's already in there. That's going to really help you. And maybe that's why you've been a little lazy. Maybe you don't have the drive because you lack some of the training. And instead of, taking the bull by the horns per se, chariot. I just feel like maybe you have gotten yourself in a rut. The Spirit is saying, let this new water pour into you, get into community. And then also you have the Goddess of Pentacles, because so that's letting me know big boss energy. Okay. Big boss energy. So please do not let this opportunity pass you by being lazy or not getting the accurate training. Okay, guys, so that's what I'm seeing right now for any type of abundance blockage. Make sure you let me know if this resonates with you in the comment section. I do appreciate you being here with me. Until next time, amen, ashe, and so it is.